Hey there, just checking in with y'all, letting you know I'm okay. um, I'm only gonna do videos if I feel any kind of stirring to do it. We'll see. If we're here for a while, I may get back to it, but right now my heart is, I'm at rest. I really feel like we should be out of here soon, and there needs to be kind of a detachment going on. We should be looking up. You should not be looking at the world right now and thinking these changes are for me. um, you should be looking at it like, well, that's what's going to happen to them. And I'm not talking about not caring, but we are strangers and pilgrims. We know what time it is. And we are instructed to be watching for the Lord and looking up, not dwelling on the earth, not being earthly minded. Now, that doesn't mean, like, I'm reading a book right now, I'm just reading some sci fi, just pass time. I'm passing time till the Lord comes. I'm not talking about being super spiritual. Uh, but what I'm talking about is not obsessing, and I've been talking about this a little bit, not obsessing about the trends on the earth. There is two options. Either your mind is set on Christ and you are have life and peace and you are sober minded and you are seeking the grace that it's come to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ and you're looking for that blessed hope, or you're looking at the earth. And right now, if you look at the earth with any understanding of what's going on, there is going to be a spirit of fear attached to it. uh, all of the things that the Bible talks about for that great and terrible day of the Lord are right around the corner. You can see it taking place. You can see it taking shape. And especially the more educated you are, like if you know about the Bilderbergers and the roundtable groups and the Illuminati and the all the different things that and their agendas, which unfortunately I do know a lot about that stuff. You know that it's darker than it looks. Like it's much. The agenda is much darker than it appears on the surface. It is a massive psyop going on right now, uh, being conducted by people who understand our psychology, understand how much we can take, understand what dose of panic mixed with hope is necessary to manage everybody down a path to reach whatever conclusion they want us to reach, you know. And there are things coming on the earth that are associated with the wrath of God and which have nothing to do with the church. And it should not feel like home to you. It should not feel like, oh, my world is changing. Oh, where are my freedoms going? Oh, my life is, we need to take a stand. Nothing like that. You should not be identified with this world. You should recognize it for what it is. It's it's going to be judged. It's going to be taken out of the way. And in order for it to be taken out of the way, we have to be taken out of the way first. uh, I really don't have a whole lot of interest in looking at the trends. We already know generally where it's going. We know about the 10 kings that are going to rise and be given power for 1 hour, and then they're going to give their power to the beast. And we know about the mark of the beast. We know about the false prophet. We know about the two witnesses and the 144,000 who are charged with speaking to that hour. And we know that we're not any of those things. We are something else. We are the Church of Jesus Christ. Uh, we are his bride. We look not to judgment, but to salvation. We have been delivered from the wrath to come, and we've been promised that he would keep us from the hour of trial, which is to come upon the whole earth to test those who are in it. That spirit of fear does not belong to us. And it's true. If the only way back to quote normal is through immunity certificates and antibody tests. And uh, you know, here's the thing: for them to implement all that is going to completely change everything. Um, and people think, oh, that means I'll get to go back to my job. No, they're going to send you down to the meat plant. You're going to work at the meat plant because there's not enough workers there to keep. It's that kind of thing. They are buying the economy and managing it. And if they allow you to go back to work, it's not going to be back at the Gap, your little retail job. You're going to be in an essential function. So it's a whole different world coming, and it has nothing to do with us. Uh, so that's all I wanted to say is please look up. Please be looking up. It's one thing if you want to talk about some of these trends for the sake of the gospel, but uh, the problem is that the church looking into these things gets upset because we're to be looking for our salvation. We're to be looking at things belonging to Christ himself. And people that, like for example, the rapture is a mystery. Therefore, there are a few types and patterns, and there are a few references to it. But if you're a new believer and you're unstable, it can be hard to see when it's eclipsed by fear and looking at the things that are coming on the earth. We should not be looking so much at the things coming on the earth. And I know that's the thing right now. Everybody is just giving us updates about what's happening on the earth. Meanwhile, the Lord is saying, who's looking at me? Where is my simple virgin that I betrothed to myself who is looking to me and enjoying my presence and enjoying my refreshing? He is refreshing right now in a very subtle way. If you'll just turn to him and sing it, make a melody in your heart to the Lord, he's still available. Just because the world changes doesn't mean anything for the church has to change. Your fellowship in the secret place is still available to you. There's still living water for you to drink. There's still a Christ who's so available and enjoyable, who loves you and wants to take you away from all these things. And he's got his time when he's going to do it. I believe it's sooner than later. But meanwhile, he wants to capture our heart. We should not have a spirit of fear. And right now, there's so much rest and peace available in him. Are you tasting it? It really matters what you focus on in terms of how you perceive your position. Again, it's not that we don't pass the time watching a Netflix thing or whatever, but it's who do you think you are and what do you think that you belong to? We belong to him. He purchased us with his blood. All right, well, I guess that's all I'll say for now.